Hi everybody, welcome back for another crypto clip. This episode we're going to talk about how to manage a portfolio because timing and diversity is key to maximising gains in the crypto markets. So what I've done for us is I've created a spreadsheet and I've charted the 28th of every single month for a selection of cryptos from June last year all the way through to the 22nd of October, which was a few days ago. And what I'm going to do is go through this and basically take profits from the portfolio and then reinvest a certain percentage to show what potential value we could have achieved if we were to take some increased risk. I have started with $1,000 to keep it easy, and what $1,000 would have got you if you split it across Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cell and Cardano on the 28th of June 2020, that would have got you now a total of $16,000. So within 18 months, that would be a 16x or 1,600% gains. So if you don't like taking risk, what this shows is that long term, if you hodl, you will make very good money in the crypto markets, assuming you can hodl through the bears and towards the end of the bull run cycles. But before we get started, you'll have to bear with me because we're going to go through this month to month, and I'm going to manually calculate taking profits and put it into the stables column, rows down here. And we're going to set a rule whereby every time we take profits, we are going to keep 50% of it in stable coins and we are going to invest 50%. This is not financial advice, this is just an exercise to help educate people why we need to be diverse and get good entries on projects and the cycles within it. So I'm happy to get started, but again, bear with me because we will do some manual calculations as we go. So 28th of June 2020, we've invested $250 into Bitcoin, that's 0.027 Bitcoin, $250 into Ethereum, that got us 1.12 ETH, $250 into Cell, which got us 607 Cell tokens, and $250 into Cardano, which gave us 3,247. That's quite a good place to start. I have then got Theta and Matic, which are two projects which I became aware of whilst being part of the market, which I eventually put some money into. And then I have EGLD and VRA, which is currently hidden. These will appear when we get to the point in the time where I continued research within the market and found these two projects to compound into as well. So we're starting off $1,000, 1 month into the market. We are now at $1,360, which is a 36% increase, and that is due mainly to Bitcoin going up, ETH going up. Cell is still the same price. Cardano's gone up, fairly nice pump there, about 50% up, and that has gave us $360. Nothing to do yet, nothing's gone crazy, we're just sitting, hodling, and spectating the markets. At the end of August 2020, Bitcoin's now at $11,300, it's about $65 up. ETH is almost a double now, as it's at $385. We've gained basically almost $200 there. Cell is still 41 cents, no gain. Cardano, despite its 50% increase, has dropped back down to 11 cents, which has brought it down to $350, but we are still up. And I actually got some Cardano myself during the summer of 2020, not much, but I did actually buy some around the 6 cent mark, and then FOMO'd in more at the 14 cents mark, and it dropped back down. Theta's started to gain traction, so I've showed the yellow here. A yellow is basically where we can start to see some traction in our altcoin. It sometimes shows the beginning of a pump. And then I've got blue highlighted cells which show an all-time high. By this point, despite up and downs here, we're still basically at the same point. We've lost $14, but we're still up $346. So 1, 2, 3 full months in the market to the end of September. Bitcoin's still ranging, but we're still in the green. Ethereum has gone down since the previous month, but we're still in the green. Boom. First big pump from sell. Over a period of 4 weeks, we have doubled. And at this point, it's nice. We're not going to take any profit just yet, because the way I invest is any money I put into crypto, I am prepared to lose my cost investment. That's just the way I work. It's dead money when I put it in, so I'm not bothered. In this example, or myself, I'm not bothered about taking the costs out. Cardano still sitting idle at 10 cents, and Theta is now at 71 cents. So what was interesting at this point in time was selling Theta were always fairly close to each other in market cap. This was something that I picked up on and was one of the thought processes of I might get some Theta at some point. It seems to be ticking along nicely, just like Cell. At this point in time, Matic had a little pump, came back down, but wasn't really on my radar until Celsius actually put it on their app. So I wasn't looking into Matic yet at this point. 28th of October. Another month into the market, Bitcoin has pumped to $13,000. That's great. We're in the green, up by $120. ETH, a small pump. We've almost doubled our money. It's back to $439. Cell has had another pump to 135. So this represents a 40, like basically a 3x. I'm not here for the 3x. I want 5 to 10x before I'm starting to take my profits, because I know we are heading into a bull market. Bitcoin hasn't even broke its all-time high yet, so nothing to worry about here in my opinion. Cardano still doing nothing, 10 cents, and Theta took a small correction to 62 cents. At this point, I am not going to do anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4 months in, get to November. Whoa, now we're making moves. If Bitcoin is up to $17,000, we're very close to the all-time high of 2020, which was $20,000. That's almost double my money. Pretty nice. Ethereum 540, we have officially doubled our money on ETH, but we are hodling. The reason for this is because I've done my research on the markets, and I fully believe Bitcoin and ETH will go past their all-time highs, as we are at the start of the bull run. Cell gets to $2.40. At this point, we are now on a 5x. We've gone from $250 to $1,454. Now remember, on this example, without compounding, at the end, we are $16,000 up of total value. So now we're going to start to change it, and we'll review that at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 25% of our profit so far on Cell, which 607 times 3. That would leave us 3/4 of our Cell pot, which means we've taken a profit of 607 minus 455 of 151 tokens at $2.40, which is $364. So we're going to put half of that into the stable pot, which is 182. Now I've got $182 worth of value. And what we're going to do at this point is we're going to put it into Theta, because we can see it's had a pump and it's been ticking along, but it's the same place of Cell, and we fancy taking a risk. And we've already made the rule set that we will keep 50% profit, compound 50% profit. So we are going to put $182 into theta, which is, how many tokens is that? 182 divided by 60. So I've got 303 theta tokens. Yep, 101.8, that's close enough. Right, okay, so happy with that. We've taken our first profit and we're now ready to move into the next month. We get to December. Shit. Sell has pumped even more, which means we're actually at a 10x point from June. So, you know, a 10x, let's just take another 25% of what is remaining now. And Celsius have just said that they're going to list Matic. So, don't know very much, but you know what? We'll take a risk and we'll just put some in there, because if Cell are going to list it, it's possibly a good project, and they're working on Ethereum as a layer 2 solution, and Ethereum's getting congested, makes logical sense, right? So let's do the same here. So we're now left with 341 Cell tokens, which is a reduction. 341. We have 114 tokens priced at $4.29, which is $490. Remember, we are keeping half of this to as security and half of it to be compounded. So we are going to keep 245, so $182 plus 245, wasn't it? Yep. And the other 245 we're now going to put into Matic, which, if I'm right, $245 divided by 0.19 a token is 1,289 Matic tokens. I can't be right. What have I done wrong here? 289 tokens. Valued at 289 times. Oh, it's 0.019. This was before it got to 2 cents. My bad. Damn. Lost calculation now. Let's go back. It was 245, wasn't it? So $245 divided by 0.019 cents, less than 2 cents a token. That gets you 12,894 Matic tokens. So, you know, we all know where Matic went after this. That looks better, that's right. Yeah, $245. Right, we get to January. Oh, and by the way, that feature we bought in November has basically doubled on a 2.5x. Bingo. And the Cardano, which we've had in there for a while, is at 15 cents. And why don't we look at ETH? We've basically done over a 4x. Why don't we shave off 20%? It's been pumping nicely. And Cardano now looks like it's gaining traction. We've reclaimed the previous resistance area and broke through the 14 cents. We're now above it. Could potentially go somewhere. So let's take 20% of our Ethereum. Actually, it's 800. Yeah, 20% works. Let's take that leaves us with 0.89 ETH. We've taken away 1.12 minus 0.89 at 0.23 ETH at a price of $730. $168. So we're going to put 84 into our profit pot. And we're going to put 84 into Cardano because it looks like it's heating up. And there's a lot of buzz around it. And 84 divided by 0.15, which is 15 cents, gives us 560 more tokens. Right. So we have made our 2 moves in December. The markets are going crazy, and some things are popping off, and others are not. Roll on end of January 2021. Bitcoin has kept going. We're now almost at the 4x point for Bitcoin, which is really good. ETH continued to pump, which is good. So even though we took profit, it's basically got us to above 4.5x. Sweet. Sell in January actually set an all-time high of $6.04. That was its first all-time high before it popped. Now, when you see the graph which goes like this and down, that means it's popped off. So we're going to keep that in mind. We might take more profits from sell. Cardano's actually doubled in December, which is lovely. So we're happy. We're gonna leave that for now. And Theta is now at 190, and we put profits in at 60 cents, which is really good. But because we're a sell token holder, and we've been watching Sell and Theta together, we've noticed that Theta is tracking behind a bit in price. So we're just going to wait a bit longer, see what happens. And Matic has gone up 2x to 4 cents. That's lovely. We're just going to leave it for now, because we can tell that the FOMO train is just starting. And if anybody was around buying Matic back at 2, 4, 5 cents, they'd have certainly known what was coming, judging by the online presence that was starting to grow. We get to February. Right. Bitcoin is now at 45k, which is a 5x for Bitcoin. Which is pretty decent. So at this point, we're going to take our cost out. 5 extra Bitcoins, very decent, given it's going to have the smallest amount of gains in the overall crypto market. So let's take out 20%, and because it's Bitcoin, let's just keep it as profits. Let's not get greedy. Divided by 5. So we've taken out 20% of our cost, which is a total of $250. So we're going to top up our stables by $250. Yeah. So now we are up to the end of February, and we're only $250 away from having our cost out, whilst our portfolio is still growing, which means soon we'll be in a position where anything you have in crypto is all profit no matter what happens. Alright, so we get to March. Bitcoin's pumped a little bit more to $55,000, which is basically another double, essentially, from a 250. So that's like now like a 6x in total. So, like, you know what? We're going to take another fifth off here. Why would we not do that? Just take another 20% out. It's what we need to be doing. We need to be creaming profits all the time. We're going to put that straight in our stable supply, and the cost is covered. Times 4. That equals this minus the Bitcoin. That cost is $200. So we are now at $961. Let's go through everything else. So our Ethereum, which we took some profits off, is now worth $1,500 from 250, and it's at 1705, which is about a 6-7x, something like that. We've done it for Bitcoin, so you know what? We're going to take a fifth out of Ethereum, because it just seems sensible to take some more profits at this point. We're at $17,000 now from 1,000. We've got 17x. We need to be thinking about taking some money out. How often do you make 17x? And just think, on these small changes we've just been doing, There's not many of them, but just small changes by keeping a slice of profit, keeping half of it and putting half into something else. We have now achieved the previous portfolio a value of 16,000. So we're now at March 2021, and we have got portfolio value of almost $18,000. Like, come on. On the original example at the start, we had $16,000 to now in October 2021. So we've knocked off April, May, June, July, August, September. Why don't we have a look at this point in time what it's now worth in October? $36,000. So we've doubled what we would have had by such small changes. Okay, so let's hide that and let's continue. I did say I was going to take some ETH profits here, right? So let's do that. I'm going to take another 20%, a fifth. It's a fairly reasonable chunk. Divided by 5 times 4 leaves us with 4/5. That minus that. $304 to add to the pot. Yeah, I think the previous calculation may have been wrong. Let me just fix this, and it should have been on this value. 248 instead of 200. My bad. Right. We get to April. Oh, by the way, sorry, there's something else we should be doing here. If you look at Theta, it's pumped to $12.70. What? So we put money in back at $6, right? So you've done, where did we put money in from? Somewhere else where we'd already achieved a 5x. So we put a small amount in with a 5x, and then it's done a 10x to $6 in here somewhere. 10x of 5 is 50x, but it's gone all the way to $12.70, so we've made a 200x. That is stupid. So we're going to take half of the profit from Theta right now, because when you calculate through the compounding, that would be stupid not to. Good job I spotted that. Take half the profit, leaves us with so we're taking $1,924 of profit here. And we said we would invest 50% every time we take some. I haven't for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but should we take that risk? We've just took a nice chunk there. We're going to say no at this point. We made a lot of money. Let's just see what happens. You have to manage that greed. You really have to manage that greed. We get to April. Bitcoin sets its all-time high top at 64.8k, and then comes back down to 54.8k. But we're happy with that. We're fine. We're just going to keep hodling. We don't know if this crash is coming. Ethereum gets to 2,741. So we've now had a full 10x. So we are going to take another fifth out of Ethereum, because that's called managing your profits, right? So we've taken some more Ethereum profits. Minus that, which is that's $391 plus 391. There we are, 3,608. So we've now got a total profit of 3,608, a total portfolio value of $25,000. So we're doing pretty nice. Theta set an all-time high of $15 at 8, went parabolic, came back down. What happens with your market knowledge? If you've watched my previous video, when it goes parabolic, it comes back down, it's going to correct hard. You know what? We're going to take 80% of that chunk out because we know it's popped. Divided by 8 times 7. think that's right. Yeah, you leave. No, it's not. Taking out 80%, which is 4/5. Divided by 5. Leave 1, which is the 30.3. So we're taking basically 80% of all our profit out of theta now. Equals that minus that. Price of theta. Bring this down. 11.20. So we've taken another $1,300 out basically. 1357. And at this point, you recognise Bitcoin has just topped, and you're not sure what you want to put your money in. So we're just going to put it back into our stable pot, because that would be a sensible thing to do. Because otherwise, it's not real money. 1357. Right, so now, before the crash happens in May, not only have we 4x'd our initial cost of $1,000, 5x to almost $5,000 in stable coins, we have got an additional $20,000 of volatile value. So we're doing really fucking well, yeah. And if we check at this point in time, if we just continued and left it as it was and just hodled from here, by 22nd of October, we would have $37,000, which is 2.5 times what we had in our original example. So let's see what happens in May. And Matic's actually got to 80 cents. So when we put a small amount, $250 back here, we just left that, and look, it's now at bloody 80 cents. It's getting silly. That is outrageous. So we're going to take half of it out. We're just going to take half of it out, play it safe. Let's not get greedy. I missed that. We can't be letting that just continue to fly without taking profits. That's stupidity. So we're going to divide this by 2. Take our Matic profits, which is now... By the way, at this point, when Matic was pumping to 80 cents, I actually took a Celsius loan and aped in big even more between 70 and 80 cents, which is pretty brave of me, but I recognise the FOMO train. So we've taken $5,157, so I'm going to put that in there. Right, so this is stupid. So through some very small changes and putting in half of some profits into other things and keeping some back, we've actually made, within May, June, 10 months, 10x of material gains and 25 overall value, which is really, really good. Right, so we're getting, sorry about the length of this video, but it does take time to do these. 28th of May 2021, as we all know, we had the crash. Bitcoin dumped to $35,000, but all the way down to 28. But we also set an Ethereum all-time high of 4,370. Because we were so focused on that Matic pump and the theta pump, we forgot to take some ETH profits. That's okay. That's how it works. Cell token got to $670 in May, and we recognised the markets are crashing. So you know what? Let's just take some Cell token profits, because it's remained relatively stable and it's a good hedge against the market. So let's just take half of it, yeah? We recognise it's had its pump. We know that now. It's had a second all-time high and couldn't continue. A second all-time high of $7.09, and it came back down hard. So we're going to take our profits, which means we're going to half our stack. Half our stack, we are taking off... we're taking off $1,143 with the intention to reinvest half of those in the crash. 143, which is equal 143 divided by 2, set $571. So keep that in mind. We're going to reinvest that. In comes EGLD and VRA. So I was aware of EGLD prior to the crash, but because it was pumping, I just didn't buy any. I live by the rule: if something is on a formal train, sit it out until it's over. Otherwise, you could well end up be buying the top. It's all about entry. If it's pumping, there's so many opportunities in the space. Just try not to buy the top. Okay, just don't do it. So we're getting to June, and everything's still crashing. Bitcoin is still down. My dog is staring at me to go for a wee, but he's going to have to wait. And we're going to reinvest some profits. You can see that Theta's collapsed from $12 to $6.90. It had its time. Cardano carried on pumping, all-time high of $2.45, but we missed it. The market was in an absolute frenzy, and it's dropped back down to $1.30. We missed it. You know what? We're just going to huddle. It's paying us interest. That's fine. Matic got all the way up to $2.65, right? We missed the top. But let's just say we sold some at the end of May when it came back down. Let's just say we sold half. Let's just say we took another fifth out of it because we thought it was going to pump again. So we're going to take fifth out. Equals that minus that. 180. And we did get two chances to take profits because it pumped to 260, dropped to 70 cents, and then it pumped back up to 260. So there was if you missed the first chance, you had a second chance. Never ever blow that second chance in crypto, ever. It is worth far too much. I've done here. So that would have been worth $2,320. It got up to 180. Mental. Absolute mental. Stables plus 2,320 plus $2,320 of profit. So at the point of the crash in May, not only have you managed to make $13,585 of profit from your £1,000 the year before, in total, despite the crash, you've still got 31k left. One more month into the crash, you've got 27k left, but your stables are not losing value. Yeah, they are solid. Everything, as you can see, is at all-time highs. Cell had another run for it, but it failed to maintain it. And Bitcoin's at 34. It's been down to 28. We're not sure if it's going to carry on going. But the key thing here is you know about other projects and everything is on offer and you have 13 grand to use. So let's just put 2 grand in EGLD because we're going to buy in the summer. So I'm going to take 2 grand out. This is what you've got to be doing, looking for these key buying opportunities. Once it leaves the area, there's not much point in buying again, in my opinion, unless you've got a really good idea of where it's going to go. I took 2,000 out of there. I'm going to put $2,000 in here. $2,000 divided by, what was that price? 70, 74. I actually caught some at 56 and 60. 27 tokens. That'll do. That's close enough. We're only $2 out. And VRA, I didn't buy any at this point because it was quite speculative. So I started doing my research whilst it was at rock bottom. And it was a month later. And I thought, you know what? Why not get some VRA? It seems much more speculative. The market is still on its arse. It's going sideways. 27k month to month. I'm just going to put $1,000 into VRA on the off chance it does well. It's all profit that I'm playing with. I'm not too worried. So stables, I'm going to take $1 grand out. Put it in the VRA, which if equals 1,000 divided by that price, 89,285 tokens of VRA. And now we're getting into the end of the summer where we're starting to get that confirmation that Bitcoin is going to continue by the 28th of August, 1 month later, we've now got a portfolio value of $39,669 simply from making 2 very small investments in the fear when everybody was running for the hills and just hodling all of our other tokens. So Bitcoin is now back at 48k, ETH 3.2k, Cell 5.7, Cardano, oh my god, making new all-time highs. What is going on? You know what, we're going to take 50% of that off the table because these other smart chains are starting to perform really well, and we're not sure how much gain Cardano has in it for the rest of this bull run. Let's just take half the profits. That makes sense. And then you're going to leave half of it to fly for the rest of the bull run and just hodl. 1903, so equals that minus that. Price 290. $5,500, and just think that $5,500, we planted the seeds for that back here in December 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 months prior to that huge gain, we planted the seed with some excess profit of $560. That is how we compound gains in crypto, and that is why we take that risk. Because the risk-reward ratio, for me, the reward far outweighs the risk. As long as you're treating your money as dead money, you don't have to worry about losing it, right? So $5519 down here, plus $5519, and we're not going to invest it because we don't want to take any more risks given that crash. It was scary as hell. And we've just basically replaced that money we just reinvested in EGLD and VRA. So why bother, right? Roll on 28th of September, 1 more month. We've come down a little bit to $36,000 from our all-time high of our portfolio. But you know what? We're happy. We're not that worried. EGLD put in an all-time high of $300 within September, so we've got some good confidence there. And VRA made it at 3 cents. At this point, Cell is still $5. You may take some more profits. Bitcoin is 41k. You're probably going to leave it because we're dependent on Bitcoin to continue. If Bitcoin doesn't keep going, then nothing else is going to keep going, right? So at this point, like, you know what? I'm happy now. I have made $16,000 with a definite 16x since my initial investment of $1,000. And you know what? I'm just going to let it hodl now. I'm just going to let it roll for the winter. So that's where we're at right now. We are about to enter the final leg of the bull run with 16k stable profits and another 18k volatile. So we get to October. Now I took these prices 3 days ago. We now have a portfolio of $45,000. And if you just look back to when we made those compounding gains, all we did was take 50% of each profit taking and reinvested it, accepting we might lose it, and the other 50% we kept in stables to earn interest as a security. So if you wanted to cash it all out now, you could have made a 44x from $1,000, and that is powerful, and that is how we manage these portfolios. And if the crypto market in general 2x's before Christmas this year, which is definitely possible, this person's portfolio, they're now in a brilliant position to potentially have $90,000 from $1,000, and that is basically your overall 100x. Yeah. Now you can employ whatever rules you want to employ when it comes to crypto and managing your portfolio, but this is just a lesson for myself and for anybody who's watching. The experience in the market, understanding missed opportunities, and how to safely manage risk and profit taking can make a huge difference to how much money you can make in this market. And so think about that and set yourself rules for crypto investing, and think about it in percentage terms. If I put $1,000 or $2,000 into crypto, I'm going to have 5% for shitcoins, for gambles, for fun. We'll have 10% in Bitcoin because it's safe, 10% in ETH because it's relatively safe as well. And then I'm going to have 4 or 5 other projects that make up 10 to 20% of your portfolio. And if one goes crazy and you get a 10 or 20x, don't be scared to take some profits, keep half for yourself, and put some back into something else which hasn't gone crazy. Because that 20x might turn into a 40x just from that new pot doing a 2x. That's what you need to know. And that's what you need to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. I apologise for it being quite long-winded, but it is tricky to do the calculations. And it kind of helps take the volatility out of it. If you look weekly, the weekly upside and downside to these values is insane. But looking at it monthly does remove kind of that extra volatility. It's quite a good way to think about, once a month, look at your portfolio, make a decision, make some moves, bam, done. 1 month later, reassess, do you need to change anything? Bam, done. Because once you start getting too into the weeds, you're constantly thinking of, I need to move something all of the time, and then that's when you start to miss the opportunities. You don't let the hodl or the compounded gain make that money for you, and you start to make mistakes. Thank you for listening. Look out for my next video. I'll make sure it's interesting. It will probably be the rule of 72 and why we should not be using the banks because they screw you. Thank you.